A one, two, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right. I feel like getting started.
Nej, nu går det inte alls.
So we have
Så kan jag inte.
not too much longer to go here.
Fan vad crappy.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15 more frames to go. Not bad. That won't take too terribly long. Probably a few more streams here. Well, actually, a few more work sessions. Oh, come on. Actually. No. Hey! You won't be busy yet? Alright. Appreciate you stopping by there, Bruce. Regardless. Hopefully busy in a good way and not a stressful way. Let's see here. To be honest, I'm not super sure about this spring. I think that should be better. I don't know why I went so angled with that eye. Didn't really pay attention to it. That'll be alright. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, we'll go with that. It's kind of a funny frame, I'm not gonna lie. Yo, Maji. Oh, he's coming along. Glad you're able to stop by, even if it's just for a short time. We're on the final stretch here, so pretty excited. Just a few more frames. Truth be told, they're going pretty quick now, which is nice. That means I'm getting faster. So, don't know how many I'm gonna get done, but I'll get as many as I can. Boy, this is just such a funny frame. I appreciate it. This is also gonna be a funny frame. The nice thing is, well, it does kind of slow down there. But, oh. I just thought, do I want to maintain the roundness of the head, or do I want to... And it pops up. I mean, he does have a very round head. I think the... Boy, now I don't know. Do I want it to flatten a touch? Nah, he doesn't have an oblong head. However, I think his eyes would be higher. This is where they are, kind of at a neutral stance. Let me see. What's the length of this? Okay, like that. That'll sort of work. I might push it up a little bit, just to be safe. But basically, what I'm looking at is like obviously as the eyes rotate up, they're going to be higher up on the face, or here that way. Yeah, it looks pretty good. And it's all on 3s, baby. You don't need 1s to make smooth animation. That's not how it works. Just need to know what you're doing with the spacing. Alright. There's little things that could be better, but that's just, you know, par for the course. And this nose. I think for the next couple clips I want to animate, especially considering they're going to be more complicated models probably. I'm not going to do this extensive of stuff. I'm probably just going to do the rough animation, because the rough animation, that's nice and quick. I always forget how quick rough animation really is when you like get down to it, especially for simpler actions. I've been doing cleanup for so long that... or rather, I did clean it for so long that I'd kind of forgot that. But I really do want to work on my sense of rough animation. I think that it honestly could use the most work, especially like more complicated acting. I need to kind of think through. There's a really good bit of pencil test from the movie 101 Dalmatians, which is funny because I've never seen that movie, but there's a scene in it where the main human guy, whatever his name is, he's like checking his watch and stuff like that. Brilliantly animated. I think it was... I can't remember who animated it. I was just looking at it. But just such fantastic motion, body motion, and acting. Definitely referenced, uses reference. But still just expertly timed out in space. It's great. Well, it's all about time, you know. It's not really about gifts in the way you think it is. All about how long are you willing to spend making something happen. That's the real gift, ultimately. Really with anything, I find, you know. Same with music. It's like, I know, like, because I play piano and lately organ, and I know, like, if I were to really apply myself, like, I could become a much better organist or pianist or whatever, but I just don't, it's not in me. I'm not pursuing that. So it's that pursuit of the craft. Are you willing to look at your work and say, well, how can I, what can I make better with it? How can I approach it in a new way, or pull from someone else who, you know, knows what they're doing or whatnot? You know, there's lots of different ways to go about it, but it's all about exploring. That's what makes it fun. Exploration of a craft. Okay. Whatever. I'm being so poignant about, like, transitions of volumes and stuff like that. Truth be told, you can get away with, like, little, like, hitches and stuff like that, like the nose, for example, where it just goes from this angle to this one really quick. You can get away with stuff like that, honestly, especially for this style. This isn't a very, like, grounded style. But I do need to remember to make sure that the upper part of the eyelid is wrapped up, because he's looking up, therefore it's going to be curved in that way. Why not? Apparently another line got created, or another point got created. Let's see. But yeah, so going forward, I'm gonna really want to push acting animation again, as well as just the full body animation. It's been a while since I've done like proper full body animation in a way, like, and like really saw the action through. I want to do more stuff like that. But truth be told, though, it's going to be interesting balancing against doing thumbnails for the comic, because that's gonna take a lot of brain space, I feel. The big thing, though, I need to get some other boarding work out of the way. I don't have the brain capacity to be doing intricate thumbnails for my comic and storyboarding for another project at the same time. That's a little bit overwhelming. Although I do need to also make some 3D reference for myself. for the sand ship. I need to figure out how I want to create the sand ship, because that would help a lot, having actual reference to the sand ship. Yo, Guilty Gearhead. I don't know why I decided to use your full name there, but there you have it. How you do? Let's see here. Oh, I'm doing all right. Seems like a pretty quiet night tonight, but that's all right. Aside from, you know, the cars zooming past at like 1,000,000 miles an hour. But we don't mind those. Ah, working to work. All right, Magic. Have a good one. Have a good rest of your shift or whatever it may be. Whatever you're working on. So far, it's been pretty good. Appreciate it, Maji. Catch you later. All right. He has that big of a forehead. I guess he has that big of a forehead. Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to raise the eyes up on this one. I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe. Or maybe. Raise the eyes up here. Maybe. Yeah, we'll give that a shot. This frame doesn't matter as much, quote unquote, but the later frames coming up here will, because of how much he slows down. It's kind of like music. The slower it is, the more precise you have to be. It's kind of the paradox of stuff like this. You know, you think that like the really crazy action and all that is like, oh man, that's, you know, high speed and stuff like that. Truth be told, though, because so much is changing per frame, you actually have less to think about. It's still challenging. There's still a lot of skill involved, but you can also hide a lot of more mistakes. It's like music in that way. When you're playing really fast, you can kind of blow through mistakes a little bit easier, but if you screw up a note that needs to be held for a measure or two or something like that, you better hit it. Kind of interesting like that. Let's go. Oh, one other thing I want to sort out is... oops. There we go. Yeah, that'll do. Well, it's kind of interesting how much music and animation in particular have in common, I would say. Because I genuinely believe if you have a sense of music theory in terms of how, like, how you can use rests and longer notes within the confines of a tempo with beats per measure and stuff like that, that actually gives you a better foundation to pick up animation than others who don't. You understand concepts of rhythm and composition better than people who don't, right? Don't have that foundation, and those are actually foundations you find in animation, which is a little bit strange, right? But the way to kind of think about it is, in animation, you're working at a fixed rate, right? You're working at 24 frames per second. That's kind of like your tempo, and within that tempo, you have to figure out how to get the effect you want. You can't change the frame rate to do that for you. You have to adapt the drawing and the spacing, much like the length of a note to the contrast of rests in order to create that effect, right? So it's interesting how music actually creates a foundation for those concepts. It's almost this universal in a strange way. But it has to do with time. It's the proposition of time. How do you work within the framework of time, basically? Because time is constant. You cannot change it. You can only work within its structure, and that's very fundamental. What do I want to listen to? Yeah. And yet I feel like I can use something with a little bit more kick. Um, I don't much care for this. Oh, come on. Oh, come off. Really? Boy, this didn't come out. Hold on. I got it. That doesn't. I don't even like that one. All right. I do need to redo it, but I think the key is actually going to be use how many are present. Once I get it, I'll get it, but, oh, it's kind of tricky. Right there. That, might work-ish. That goes that way. Guess it always faces to the right. Alright. My favorite animated movie? Song of the Sea. It's an Irish animated film by a studio called Cartoon Saloon. Fantastic film. That was the so it's kind of funny because like for a lot of people it's like when they get into animation they typically are like, oh yeah, I watched animation when I was a kid and like I was inspired by those films. I want to make films like that, right? But for me, I didn't get into animation until I was in high school. And my entire kind of like motivation, like everything I was basing my efforts on, was this attempt to create things I saw, but I didn't see anywhere else. It felt kind of isolating, honestly, because it's like, okay, I know that we can. Like, there's potential with what I'm imagining, when I'm thinking, when I'm seeing. But I don't really see it around. And part of that was just I didn't know where to look. And the thing that kind of opened my eyes up to that prospect was the film Song of the Sea. When I watched it, I was like, okay, this is... I have been looking for this, basically. It's a very good story. They did another film a number of years later called Wolfwalkers that I didn't care for as much. I felt like the story was lacking. The animation's gorgeous. It's probably their best like looking film, but it didn't capture the same sincerity in its story. I felt that's a little distressing. Let's do that. It felt like it was kind of forcing a premise, and the characters felt very like. It's a trend that it's a problem I've seen quite a bit where. How to describe it? Everything feels kind of like half baked, I guess. The characters and such feel like they needed more time to become people. If that makes sense. I've seen that a lot as of late, unfortunately. It's one of those things where it's almost like you can feel the writer's struggle to figure out what makes their character human or a person. It's not even like the whole classic like, oh, they don't have any flaws. It's nothing as mundane as that. It's nothing as, or rather as extreme as that, right? It's something more like fundamental that's missing, I would say. I know that sounds funny. It's like, well, what's more fundamental than giving the character like strengths and flaws? But I feel like that almost in part is sort of the problem, because like when you look at your characters as just being strengths and flaws, now it's kind of like you're looking at a character sheet for like a tabletop game or something like that, you know? And I try not to do that with my characters as much as possible. There was actually also another film that they did that was actually very good as well, called Secret of Kells. That was pretty well known. I think that might have been their first film they did. Very good film. Very cool. Funny enough, I believe a lot of it was done in Flash, of all things. At least in terms of like the actual character animation, and you can totally see it looks like a Flash cartoon from the 2000s. It's actually really funny. Still, like it's like something you see on Newgrounds if like professional animators were actually like working on it. And at least in terms of style. Let's see, what are other animated films I've seen that kind of... My favorite animated short film is one out of Japan called... The Running Man. No, not the Arnold Schwarzenegger film. It was part of an anthology called Neo Tokyo, and it is an absolute work of art, just unbelievably crafted. Same, at least art director as Akira. But since it's a short film, they actually like went full like full quality. And Akira's a good looking movie. Like Akira has some insane looking stuff, but this takes the cake running in. I'm trying to think if there's any other like animated films I've watched that I should give a shout out to that really kind of made me go, oh yeah, that's something. Can't really think of anything. Feel like you're missing out. It is, the best way I can describe it is great to watch for the art. The story is okay, especially the further you go into it, but definitely still worth it for the art. Definitely recommend if you ever do get your hands on it. Give it a go. No, I'll... Well, hold on. I'm gonna... Yeah. I need to turn on the lights. It's getting dark fast, man. As far as favorite 3D animated films, though, I remember for a long time it was The Incredibles. But then I watched the first Spider-Verse film, and I was really impressed by that for a couple of reasons. First was that I thought it was a pretty well done story. Overall, I liked the way it was told. But the other part that I like about it is a fundamental, like an artistry side. I was very happy to see 3D animation begin to show its signs of, like, essentially embracing sides of the art form that it hadn't been able to before in any, like, really strong capacity. So I was very happy to see that, rather than trying to go the Pixar route with everything. Everyone did. In terms of style. That's just the case for a lot of 3D movies for the longest time. At least I should say, bigger like industry films. Awesome. Yeah, no, that is a fantastic film. Honestly, like, considering they're both very different films in their nature and everything like that, there are aspects of The Incredibles I like, even on the writing side, more so than Spider-Verse. Funny enough, funny that they're both superhero films. Though. One more so than the other, I suppose, but still. I typically am not a big fan of superhero films, just in general. I didn't really buy into all the crazy, like, Marvel Cinematic Universe craze. I think I've seen... I always forget how many I've seen, but I've seen probably Marvel movies. I haven't seen any of the DC, like the last new... Is that true? Is the last new live-action Batman film I've seen was Dark Knight Rises, and I was bored out of my mind. And that isn't even part of like the DC like movie verse or whatever the crap it is. But I've seen, for Marvel, I've seen Captain America. I like that one up until like the weird montage. And I thought Red Skull looked goofy, to be honest. Then I've seen Iron Man. I wasn't really blown away by it. I've seen Thor. Wasn't really blown away by it. I've seen Civil War. Saw that in the hospital, actually, while I was really sick. It was a good distraction, I guess. That's about all I can say about that film. I've seen... What else have I seen? I've seen Avengers. I've seen the first Avengers. I actually went to the theater with some friends to see that. Even though I wasn't into like superhero movies, I was like, you know, I do want to just go to the theater with my friends and watch a stupid movie and just hang out for my birthday. Yeah, like, yeah, it was just in that small town the entire time. Like, I don't even remember all that. All I remember is him getting banished, Loki being whatever, and him fighting the metal dude at the end. That's all I remember. That's all that movie. And I guess him like getting like becoming like worthy, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Let's see what else. What all is there? What other? I feel like I've seen one more like besides Infinity War, which Infinity War was also boring in my opinion because it was just like, oh, big battle, the movie, blah blah blah. It's like, okay, whatever. You know, oh, they all died. Well, okay, well, they'll fix that in the next movie. You know. Is there another one I watched? It was really weird watching those movies as someone who wasn't in the comics, because like, especially like not watching all of them, because it's like when I watched in I think it was I don't know if I can listen to that song. When I watched Civil War, I was like, who the heck is this Vision guy? Apparently he's really important. No idea who he is still, really. Just other than being some super dude who's like dating some like psycho chick or something like that. Who ends up going completely off the rails later on in the series, apparently. Yeah, it was just kind of awkward. It was like, I don't know who any of these people are. And then even like the reveal of like Black Panther and stuff like that. It's like, oh, okay, I guess that's a thing. It was just kind of weird. It was like someone telling it was the same feeling as like someone telling a joke that you're not in on the whole time. So like there really wasn't anything other like to enjoy other than just the action scenes. So it was kind of I don't know. It was a weird experience. And I'm the kind of person who usually likes to be like thrown in without context. Like I like Lynch's Dune, for goodness sakes. Like I'm all about that kind of stuff. But like that in that case it felt too like it wasn't telling a story, it was just like glamour shots. It was just you know what I mean. Maybe, I don't know. Went from liking the second Avengers to not liking it that much at all. Too many jokey moments. See, that was the other thing, like it's like I can't tell if you want me to take your movie serious or not, because every character is just a walking stand-up comedian. Like that is their character trait. All of them. Like that's all of them. They're all the comic book. You know? So I'm just like, I don't care if any of these people die, I'm sorry. Again, because they're gonna fix it like later on. It's like that one what do you call it? Robot Chicken, where they're at Green Arrow's funeral, and it's Batman like speaking, like giving a obituary or whatever it is. and finally he gets fed up. He's like, you know what? I'm sick of this. He's gonna come back. We all know he's gonna come back. How many of you have died? And like the whole crowd's like superheroes. Come on, like everybody raise their hand who's died, including Superman. Like, we know he's gonna come back. So what are we doing here? Like at the end of the day. It's also kind of the joke from Dragon Ball Abridged where Tien kind of calls it out. He's like, why do you guys care that Goku's dead? Like, we have 2 sets of Dragon Balls, we're gonna be fine. Like, we can bring him back. Like, death doesn't have a consequence anymore. So yeah, once you start playing with power levels like that and like multiverse crap, it's like, okay, so like who should I care about? So yeah. I'm really not into like power systems, all that kind of stuff. I feel like that's really boring. It's like I would rather play a game at that point myself, and that's the main core of the story. That's actually what got me really bored with Demon Slayer, because I started watching. I was recommended that. I was like, okay, you know, I'll check it out, and I just got so bored. I just like, I do not care. I'm so bored. Nothing is happening. Nothing is like, there's no story. So that's what a lot of stuff feels like now. Is just like nothing's actually happening. Like what? If like none of the characters woke up, the villain didn't decide to just show up, like where would that leave the world? And usually I find the answer is, you know, in a really boring place, because the world is boring and I'm bored. I don't know. I like it when it doesn't feel like the protagonist is the only one doing anything, like, and everything else is just set dressing. Everything else is just like the sandbox world that they live in, you know? That's actually so. I don't know how much I want to say on this, because this goes into not spoilers for The Blind King, but like, no, I can talk because it isn't spoilers, and it's not like you're gonna like, it doesn't like give anything away, and that doesn't really, like, that's not the point of the story anyway. But the whole kind of reason I started doing The Blind King was to almost be like, not a like mocking or anything like that. It's not done in like a mocking way, but sort of a like antithesis to modern storytelling, sort of. Not like that's its whole point of existing. It tells its own story. I wanted to stand on its own feet and everything like that, but I got tired of like certain things I was seeing, and I said, well, what if I essentially kind of took those ideas but ran in reverse with them? Like, what could I bring out of that? And so that's why you have sort of the world revolving in like the world revolving around one character. I'm gonna put air quotes around that. Maybe that is a little bit yeah, it's not spoilery. But what that ultimately means and what that'll ultimately come to is kind of meant to be sort of a play on that trend that I'm seeing. And you see a little bit of it in chapter 2 with the... I actually honestly wonder if people saw that message and read that message. There's a it's not, I wouldn't call it hidden, but you have to go out of your way to pay attention to it. And that is I'll just say in the monologue that that she is receiving, that she's listening to towards the end of the chapter, or no, towards the middle of the chapter, I'm saying. The end of the first batch, the end of the first like 10 or 11 pages that I put out. There's something to that should begin to paint a more dire picture of what's going on, especially in relation to the themes. in some ways, actually, I didn't even think about this, but like, it's also an antithesis to the idea of separating, kind of like abandoning the narrative for the sake of things. Because the idea behind this is the narrative is one with the theme. Like very like, not even like in a hidden way. It's not meant to be hidden, basically. The Blind King is more obvious than I think people will realize, and whether that's going to work or not, whether people are going to be disappointed in that or not, I don't know. But I think people will like it. I don't know. People seem to be enjoying it at least. But honestly, I don't. It's so weird because like I don't know what people are going to expect from the story. And part of that is blindness on my side because, you know, I'm the one making it. So it so it's a little bit hard for me to understand how the audience views it, especially considering like I haven't gotten very many comments trying to like understand, like talking about the story, so I don't know how people view the story, and I kind of like that, honestly. Like, I would love to know like what people think of the story and stuff like that, but there's also something kind of cool about it being so like, I don't know, obscure, not obscure by like any kind of like attempt on my part. I'm not necessarily attempting to obscure the story. It just naturally, I think, is. Because of the perspective that you have from, you know, Blind and her, you know, state, I guess, in the world. I don't know, it's weird. Such a weird story to work on, man. I don't know what I'm doing with it, but it seems to be working, I think. It's come together. Like, I know how it comes together. At the same time, though, there's this lingering kind of, like, feeling that people are going to get to the end of it and just go, huh? And maybe that'll happen. I think it was Kahuna, though, was sort of theorizing stuff, which was cool. Yeah, it's so challenging because, like, obviously this is my first escapade into like comics in general, like real honest, like making it happen, and so my worry is within that inexperience. I don't want things to be too vague, but at the same time, the way that the story is told is that very, like I said, designed by subtraction. So I'd be curious on what, like, people manage to pick up. Like, I don't have experience with that. I know people can, like, pick up things, right? But in this case, I don't know, like, I just don't know. I guess it's still just a mystery to me how people view this work. Not really worried about it or anything. Because, like I said, this is all just a big experiment. It's, you know, for fun, for many regards. And I am grateful for the fact that people are reading it regardless, giving a shot. Truth be told, you probably missed less than you think. It's not so much a matter of like. I'd say it's not so much a matter of like because like I'll say this: you don't need to take a magnifying glass to every page to figure it out. Basically, right? It's not that kind of story. But I think you have to be thinking in the right way. And it's just a matter of like once you get it, it's like, oh, okay, it's really obvious. Like it'll be almost like simple, basically. Yeah, exactly, right. But at the same time, you know, you have to be careful that you don't like. I don't know, like the biggest thing for me is like you can get too clever, basically, with storytelling. Like that is a thing that you can do, right? And that's not my goal, of course. I'm not trying to be like too clever, but at the same time, is the nature of the project doesn't become pretentious, I guess, is the idea. Just in its nature, right? Not even like how you execute, just by its nature, is it sort of pretending to be something that it's not. I guess in this case, a good story. Is it pretending to be a good story? And so that's what makes this project a little bit nerve-wracking. Is it's like, well, shoot, like I think I think it comes together. I can see it, but am I crazy? You know, it'll have to kind of prove itself. You know, that's just the nature of it. And like I said, like because this is my first foray into comics, it's like I don't even really know if this works. So that's part of the reason why it's free, is if it will work or not, I don't want people to feel like they were gypped. The only thing you'll lose is your time, basically. Maybe I should have started with something a bit more traditional, but like I kind of like fell into this project backwards, like much like what happens with all my projects. Yeah. Ideally, oh boy, after this one, I will do something a little bit more traditional. It'll be bigger though. That's the only problem. And truth be told, I'll have to do something smaller. Than the next project I have in mind, which is one I've been working on for a while, called Creatures. But it's definitely a story I want people to like think about, you know, and even like kind of left open-ended to a degree that like I always want to leave room for the reader's imagination. I think that that's really important in every story. This is just kind of taken to an extreme. Yeah, the next one's called Creatures. Well, I say next one like it's exactly what's going to come out next after Blanking, but I'll be hopefully like working on it. I really want to work on that story. I need to rewrite, like I've written 2 drafts of the whole thing, so I have the whole story planned out. I need to do a 3rd draft though, primarily going back in and like fixing stuff. And like, there's certain aspects of it. There's certain aspects of it I like. There's certain aspects of it I wish went in other directions, and so I might have to really like. The problem is it's already like planned to be like 300 pages, and I want to cut it down to 250 if I can. It's like it's really tough figuring out where to cut, right? Like what needs to go, what needs to stay, and everything like that. While keeping everything it needs to have, basically. I think though, a lot of it's just going to be in the execution. I think there's a lot of like, I've gotten better at storytelling. I've gotten better with characters, just from mulling things over in my head. It'll be interesting. That one's going to be an interesting story as well. But it's black and white, so it'll be not as demanding in terms of like the art and stuff like that. The art, it'll have like, it'll be like, so you know my black and white style, the one I did Evalay's work in, that black and white style. It'll be closer to that in style and art. A little bit cartoonier than that, but same technique for the most part. Which that is a much faster technique, especially, and it's a simpler art style. The hardest part is going to be like backgrounds and the world. The world's really weird. It's a very, yeah. It's a different world. I actually have the character designs. I can after this frame, I'll grab them here. So it's been a while since I looked at them. It's funny enough, actually, if you've watched my Inktober work from last year, all the time lapses, you've actually seen 2 of the characters from that story. If you watched them all. I really want to do shorter comics as well, though. I really want to do something for the Iron Age, the Anvil magazine. I think that would be really cool. Like something specific for that. I'll need to get into contact with Richard. Of course, that you know, I've got other work I need to do. So that might be a bit longer than I would like. Inktober, yeah, it's on my channel. It's the by the way, how's the volume? Can you? Yeah, okay, that's good. It's called Inktober. It's 2022 time lapse. Inktober. Volume's good? Okay, good. But yeah, yeah, it's the time lapse video. It's like 22 minutes long or so. I did all the music in it, actually. I need to do more music like that. That was really fun. I didn't want to worry about like finding 20 minutes of music, and I didn't like the idea of just like putting other people's music on my channel. So I was like, well, screw it. I'll just make 20 minutes of music just improvising. It was a lot of fun. Some of it you can really tell was it's just improvised, but some of it I was actually pretty happy with how it turned out. Nice and ambient. Oh shoot. Why did I do that? Okay, hold on. Yeah, that Inktober, like, that was actually really good for me. That was a lot of fun. And I really got a grasp on that black and white style over that month of just, like, doing that. So I really should do more stuff like that, where I just take a month and just, like, do... I would love to do it with animation, where I just do... maybe every week, like a rough animation, rough character animation. Love to do that. All right. Time is it? 7:23. Oh. We're actually making pretty good time here. Let's see here, because I will have, by the end of today, if I were to get this one done and this one done, I would have about half of them done this week. And then I just have the rest of these, and like the end here, like, is just a little bit of a shift. So, am I happy with that hair? I'm pretty happy with that hair. Oh, that's not good. I don't want that. That's better. This one, that way. Yeah, I gotta shrink that down. Alright. Come on. Alright. My precision, my pen precision is actually getting better. It's getting back up to where it was when I was really at my height. Even clean up on lackadaisical, that's nice. Let's see here. Yeah. That's on the table. That got funded. Oh man, that I couldn't believe that they hit 2 million, man. That was pretty crazy. Very impressed. Yeah, no. I'd be down to work with them again in the future if they'll have me back. It'd be a lot of fun. It was a really great project to work on, honestly. The crew was really great. Very focused. When I came into it pretty late, and so the pipeline felt like a well-oiled machine. It was really cool. There were kind of a few awkward things in terms of like resources and stuff like that, but like considering it's a small team, that's how it goes, you know. It's truly like grassroots for the most part. I'm gonna take a quick break and I'll share the characters here I was telling you about earlier. This is some old stuff actually. So you're gonna get to see some old artwork here. Where the creatures lineup. Creature studies, yeah, there it is. So yeah, so this is some old sketches actually. And I've gotten better. I have more ideas for the I have a better idea of the design and how to draw the design and stuff like that. But then where is it? As a test. Cityscape. So this was a really early attempt at that black and white style that I developed, and it's definitely rough. This is how I used to render shadows and stuff like that. I had a really primitive form of hatching I would use. Very loose, messy sense of hatching. I've gotten a lot better with hatching, that's for sure. But for the most part, I still like, this was a good foundation for what I was going for. And I got some really good advice for like making the background more interesting from a really, really good background artist friend of mine. I need to reach out to him and see how he's doing. It's been a while. Very cool guy though, very, very nice. Yeah, so this is like the main cast basically. So playing around with that. What else do I got from this project? I have more stuff. I've been every now and again I'll sketch these characters again on when I'm at work. I have more stuff on my iPad, but what else do we got? I have a really old drawing. This is actually from like 2016. So this was... Oh. Photos just crashed. You gotta love that the basic applications that are built into Windows can't even handle their design purpose. But yeah, this is a really old sketch, so you can see like I've come a bit of a ways, huh? So it's fun to go back though and look at this old stuff and see where it comes from. But yeah, I actually this was the first thing I drew from that story after having a dream, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna draw that, and I did. Bat Boy, yeah, pretty much. What What else have I got in here? I have some really old animation stuff actually as well. Yeah, I never did finish this one. And it crashed again. Yay! But yeah, I was kind of testing out some stuff. I had a really funny habit, and I kind of still do, where my movements pause. They don't flow one into the other. I've been really trying to kind of break that. That was kind of one of the goals of this animation, funny enough, is I'm trying to make it so that there's less like pauses. See, it's like, okay, so we have pause, and then this action out, which it looks all right. It's fine, but I'm trying to kind of like get out of that. I want because when you look at the way people move and act and stuff, there is this flow to it. This kind of idea of flow. And I feel like I've always kind of struggled with that a little bit, depending on the action. Not really sure how to transition that more smoothly. So still working on that. Man, I've got some old stuff in here. What is the earliest stuff I got? Not that I'm gonna share it. Oh yeah, wow, that's old. Actually, I still like this one. I'll share this one. Or not, because it's gonna crash again. Oh no, it did. Oh, this is the banner actually. Hold on. Do I? Oh, I don't have that export. Dang. Really? Hold on, maybe I do. No, I do. Here it is. Yeah, I did this a while back, and I actually still like it. It's super simple, very sketchy, messy. You know, not very well done technically or whatever, but it was what I wanted it to be. It was a style I was going for. I was looking at a lot of Zach Gorman art at the time, and messing around with that style. And it was really fun. It was a really fun piece, and I still really like how this one came out. Even in its imperfection. Let's see. Oh, I never finished this one. This one was actually coming out pretty good. I started tweening it. I started doing in-betweens for it, because it's on like 4s, I think, or something like that. But in general, I really like the movement. I like how she's floating. Like, that actually really came out. Which makes me happy. And funny, so this is when I got into this really weird habit of just like, I think I did this one straight ahead. I can't remember though, because I distinctly remember I didn't usually, when you do like cloth and hair and stuff like that, you do it in multiple passes. So you'll do like her, like if I were to do this the quote unquote right way, basically I would animate her without any like extra bits and bobs, basically like a mannequin, basically, a structure of her body moving in space, so I understood all of that, and then I would go back, add the hair, add the trailing dress or whatever it is. But I didn't do that. I actually just straight up was animating the whole thing all at once. I don't know how I did that actually, because like keying stuff like cloth is not like you don't really do that. I think I used a really limited key method or something like that. Like I did only just a handful of keys, and then I straight ahead everything else. And straight ahead just refers to instead of like planning out keyframes where you have like large gaps and you're just picking out the most important poses at their time. Straight ahead just means going from one frame to the next. So it was kind of a method of combining both strategies, which is actually really good to do. That's what is kind of recommended, honestly. Depending. I don't know. I do kind of wish I'd finished this one, though. I think the movement's pretty good for fours, but yeah, it would have been really cool to see it all tweened and whatnot. This is around the time I was really beginning to understand character mechanics and motion and stuff like that. I have other crap around. Oh yeah, I never did finish that project. I can go back and do that at some point. I did a, oh my gosh, I did a walk cycle for a character called the Keeper, and I was gonna have him walking through the woods with like things popping up and stuff like that. I never got around to it though. Maybe one of these days. This walk cycle actually came out pretty good. Still pretty happy with it. It's very jittery. It's all like the arms all over the place. I was still having a hard time getting proper in betweening, but I like the weight. I like the weight of it. This was when I started getting into animating on threes as well, which was a lot of fun. As opposed to doing every frame. Actually, this is animated on threes as well. So 1, 2, 3, 1. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Each of these has 3 exposures. And so that means that it's animated on threes. If it was every single frame, that'd be ones. If it was every other frame, that'd be twos. Actually, there's a few ones here for the sake of his eyes. Just to kind of give that chance to bounce. All right, on to the next. What time is it? Okay, 44. This might be my last frame of the night. Which means I'm about halfway, all things considered, which includes the fact that the later frames of this will be actually really easy. Man, I should probably post more stuff to social media. I've been thinking about that the last couple days. It's like I disappear off the face of the map way too much. At least I stream. Putting something out. No. Yeah. Maybe not this. Yeah, that's Tony Lay's Through a Cardboard World. Yeah, I like their stuff. Ah, crap. Oh, there goes the VOD. As much as I want to listen to that song, I can't. Uh-oh. Yeah. What are we gonna listen to? We'll just do maybe this one. Sure. Why not? I don't think it's a thing. Actually, really. I think this is under his own label. Whatever. If the stream dies, it dies in style. Oh, I don't like that. I'll have to add the little lines as well. This also this is Alan Palomo, the guy behind Neon Indian. He went off and like made movies or something like that for a while, but apparently in August he released a solo album. This isn't part of Neon Indian apparently, which makes sense because it's a very different project. It sounds like, but still same artist. A little bit unfortunate, I guess, that because there was a lot. Man, there's a lot of stuff from Neon Indian I actually really like. It would have been cool to get another album, but it happened. He kind of got into the, like, kind of his past, I guess. But apparently his dad was quite the star down in, I think down in Mexico. Big music producer down there. So I guess kind of maybe returning to the roots kind of scenario. Boy, this is almost getting into like Thomas Dolby territories with the vocals. Oh, that's kind of cool. I wish I could listen to Thomas Dolby on stream. That'd be nice. This is the annoying thing. It's like there's so much music I want to share with people through my streams and stuff like that. But I can't. Yeah, it's got a sound to it, doesn't it? I bet Evele would like this stuff. He's into that classic saxophone, apparently. I'm not a big saxophone guy myself, but I can appreciate it when it's got that good feel to it. You don't like sharing? Yeah, no, I don't. Like even like the worst is like cause like it's like okay fine, you don't like me playing the music stuff like that, okay whatever, right? But like even like Rick Beato, like this dude who's like trying to teach people about music, that is his whole shtick, by dissecting and looking at and breaking down music, you know, it's freaking ridiculous. It's hammered. It's like he is literally just like breaking it down, you know, like doggone, man, like freaking bureaucrats. Yeah, that'll work. Alan Palomo. You just look up Neon Indian, you'll find it. But screw it, I'll just send you the channel. There's the channel. I missed it. 804. Okay. Perfect. I feel like I'm finally getting my endurance back after being sick. Being able to work longer and longer. That's a really annoying thing about getting sick for me, is like, oh yeah, you're over being sick, but now you have to build up that momentum again to do the longer work sessions and stuff like that. But this is where we're... hold on. Oh. I like the eyebrows. I think the eyebrows came out really good, actually, and we'll continue to, but I'm not so sure about eyes. Look alright. Let me... It was an awkward... I always knew that this was going to be awkward because I'm doing that, like, upward angle on a character that has a ball for a face, a literal, like, buzz ball for a face. But I think it'll work. For not having a model to go off of, I'm doing pretty good. Ah, there's some... Yeah, hold on. What's going on there? Let me see if I can... We have... there's something I don't like. There's some... What is that? The mouth looks fine. The eyes... It's something in the eyes. It's that drop. One second. Oops. I don't like that. Hold on. You around. Hold on. I don't know if that... Yeah, it's alright. Let me grab this down here. Oh, this is actually Neon Indian. Yeah, it's... There's some weird... What's going on? Why am I seeing a bump? Oh, that's why. Okay, hold on. Maybe try bringing the hold a little bit more. That will make more sense. That's better. Okay. I like the movement of the ears for the most part. Hold on. Yeah, that works. It's a little sloppy, but that's okay. Like I said, for this style, like there's a bit you can get away with. Do I put the mouth that far out? That works. It gives kind of that kind of pull. Yeah, that's all right. It'll look better as well once I get other frames. Well, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm being hypercritical. Partially for my sake, but also because I'm just hypercritical. Everyone is with their own way. I like how his teeth work. I like how they slip out like that. That's fun. Okay. I do like how the eyebrows are coming out though. That's actually looking pretty good. Like big old bushy eyebrows. I actually think that this might be one of the best frames. These frames here. It makes me happy because they're the ones you see. It's one of the frames you see the most. But it just, I think that's really strong in capturing things like this. These are alright. I think the line thickness is also really strong there. Here, I think I need to... Yeah, I'll need to fix the lower eyelid. Let me do that real quick. Actually, that's really easy. I'll show you. Grab and copy and paste. There we go. That's better. There we go. Now he looks like he hasn't slept in 5 days. Got them bags under his eyes. And the volumes look pretty good. Having the head be a consistent spherical shape is really helping. Alright. Anyway, it is 8:11. So, done for over 2 hours. We got a bit done. We got like 4 or so frames done in 2 hours. This one. And this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames. So you do the math. I'm too busy. It's a little better than 30 minutes per frame. Which, yeah, a model this simple takes 30 minutes for me per frame. Right around. So I can actually kind of calculate out. If I were to add up how many frames that is, how long cleanup would take. It's 30 minutes per frame. But with that being said, I'm gonna call it here. Oh, doggone it. Whatever. Stream might go down, but whatever, right at the end here. A little bit of a quiet night, but that's alright. Sounds like people were pretty busy. That being said, I'll be back on Tuesday of next week. We'll see what happens. I might have this done cleanup-wise by then, which would be pretty cool. Making me pretty happy. All that being said, I will be back on Tuesday working on stuff and things. Maybe, hopefully, potentially, perhaps thumbnails for the comic. I really want to get to that, but my brain has just been kind of frizzle-fried. But I'm feeling better, so hopefully I can make that happen. At the very least, I can do like reference stuff. So anyway, thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you, Guilty Gearhead, for keeping me company for as long as you did. Really appreciate it. I will be back, so be sure to tune in, subscribe if you haven't. Ringling that little bell or whatever the heck. I don't know how YouTube works. I'm gonna do whatever you want. I don't care. Come by if you want to, or don't. I'll see you around regardless. So, see ya.